Welcome to Y Live. Today we will be doing gentle chair yoga. I'm Goldie, so I just need to make sure that you're ready to begin. Please consult with your doctor before starting any exercise program and modify always as needed today. Let's make sure we listen to our own bodies. And in order to do chair yoga, you do need to go ahead and grab a chair from home. Please make sure it doesn't have wheels on the bottom of it. And let's also make sure that you have your water nearby, because you do want to make sure your hydration is kept up throughout the class. We are going to go for about 20 minutes today. And so make sure that we're going to start right now with breathing. As we begin, we're gonna take big deep breaths in and out through the nose. Of course, you can modify that as needed. As we inhale through the nose, we're gonna expand our breath through our bellies, big opening up our bellies and lifting through our chest, squeezing our shoulder blades together. And then as we exhale, we're gonna gently drop our shoulders down into our back pockets and pull our navel back to our spine. We're going to do that again in repetitive motion, nice big deep breaths. Every inhale we want to try to make just a little bit longer than the last. So let's inhale nice and big, expand through the belly, lift through the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale and drop those shoulders down into those back pockets. Pull the navel back towards the spine. Again, here we go. Two more. Let's breathe in and exhale. On the next inhale, make sure as you're inhaling that your shoulders don't rise up next to your ears. We want to keep those down and away, separated from those ears. So inhale, pull the shoulders back, exhale and release. While we're starting today and we're continuing to practice those big deep breaths, we want to make sure that we're clearing our minds of all thoughts that are going in and out. We have plenty of time left for the rest of the day to get those things done. Today, this moment is all about you, making sure that you are relaxed, taking time to de-stress the body. Opening up, creating flexibility. Slowly, we're going to go ahead and gently start to stretch through the neck area. We're going to pull our right ear towards our right shoulder. Gently just allowing it to sit as we breathe in. And exhale. Again, let's go ahead and just drop that right arm down beside us so we feel the pull and the gravity to help lengthen that stretch. We also want to focus on the left shoulder, allowing that shoulder to drop down as we pull that ear just a little closer towards that shoulder. And on the next inhale, let's bring our head back up to center. And we're going to rotate to the opposite side. Both hands back, start back on the thighs. All right, nice and easy. We're going to take our left ear to our left shoulder. Big deep breath, inhale, fill the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, pull the navel to the spine, drop the shoulders down in the back pockets. Again, if you want to add a little extra, you can allow that left arm to drop beside you, allowing the gravity to pull down just a little deeper, making sure that that right shoulder is rolled down and back, down into those back pockets right there. Beautiful. We're going to bring that back up, hands back to the thighs and center. One more. We're going to drop the chin down, keeping the shoulders squeezed and then dropped into the back pocket. So now the shoulders are relaxed down into the back pockets, and we're going to drop that chin down. Big deep breath, filling the belly up. Exhale, pull the navel back to the spine. Again. Now, while we're here, we're going to just add one more thing. We're going to bring our hands right to the bottom of the chair, right to the bottom front of the chair. And if you haven't already, let's move yourself towards the front of the chair, towards the front of the chair. We're going to grab a hold of the bottom of the chair. We're going to lift our shoulders up and roll them back, drop them down in the back pockets, and we're going to lift our chin up to the sky. Your drishti or your gaze is looking forward and diagonal up, not straight up, but diagonal up. We want to feel the stretch right down the front of the neck, lifting through the chest. Nice big deep breaths. Inhale, using those arms to give a gentle pull, pulling those shoulders back, dropping them into our back pockets, lengthening through the body. You want to feel the lengthening as the crown of the head is being pulled gently up and slightly back. And we're going to release that down. Beautiful. Now we're going to start with a hip hinge forward. For those of you having any, again, we need to make sure we listen to our bodies. So if you have any injuries that you need to be aware of, please make sure as we do these movements, make modifications, maybe not as deep into the bend. You can go in just to a 45-degree bend. If your body is comfortable with it, you can certainly hinge forward just a little deeper. As we come into that, we want to make sure that there is a space in between our chin and our chest, lifting through the chest. If you'd like to get a little deeper stretch as we're in this forward hinge, we do want to make sure that we bring our hands back behind us to get that deeper stretch. If that is uncomfortable for your shoulders, please just leave that part out today, okay? And this allows us to lift through the chest and hinge just a little deeper. Pull the navel to the spine. We want to support the lower back. We don't want to cause any hyperextension in that lower back. We want to be in a neutral spine as we're hinging, trying to bring our belly and our chest towards the tops of our thighs right here. Beautiful. And again, you don't have to bring your hands behind you. You can, of course, bring them forward. This is another option. Beautiful. And we're going to inhale and bring that back up. We're going to add just a little bit to that. Again, you can just come back into that same pose that we just did. Or if you'd like to add a little bit, you can go ahead and take your left heel forward, straightening that leg. Just a tiny bend in the knee so that the knee is not locked out. We don't want to lock any joints. We're going to lift up, inhale, and we're going to exhale as we fold forward, hinging at our hips. You're going to feel a little deeper stretch through the back of the leg, the hamstring, all the way down the calf muscle, the bottom part of the leg. We do want to leave the hand supported on the leg for the moment. Those of you who are a little more advanced, you know you can reach behind you once again and give it that deeper fold forward. And on the next inhale, we're going to come back out of that. Beautiful. Bring that foot back together. We're going to try the opposite leg now. We're going to bring that back out. And dropping the heel down, toes are flexed and pointed towards you. We're going to lift up through the spine, lengthening through the crown of the head, nice and tall, and forward fold, hinging at those hips, coming forward. Now you might notice that one side is a little tighter than the other. That tends to happen. The body tends to have a little bit of imbalance in one side, so we just want to be aware of that. Making sure that you're listening to your body at all times. Nice big deep breaths as we're here. And on the next inhale, we're going to bring the body back up and bring the feet together. Beautiful. Feet are flat to the floor. They're about hip width apart. We're going to start with a nice big inhale up, bringing both arms up. Inhale. And exhale and release down. Good. Let's do that again. Let's add to that. If there are any shoulder difficulties today, just make sure that you keep that arm down. There's no need to raise it. And we're going to bring that back down with a nice big exhale. Again, this time we're going to lift up. We're going to inhale and we're going to turn our head up slightly, looking up. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward, hinging at those hips as we did before. Remember, we really want to focus on keeping our feet firmly pressed into the mat or into the floor that's in front of you. And we're going to inhale back up. Beautiful. Inhale, turning that head slightly up. And exhale, release those shoulders down into those back pockets and hinge forward. Beautiful. One more time. This time we're going to come up. Inhale. And if you're comfortable with it, we're going to bring those hands and clasp them together. Reaching up, keeping those shoulders away from those ears. Watch that elevation right here. We want to pull those shoulders down into those back pockets. Pull that navel to that spine. Focus in the breath here. Focus in the breath here. Please note any shoulder issues. You can always keep that arm down. And we're going to open up. This is a modified version of Warrior 2. We're going to bring our hands out to the sides, palms facing down. And I want you to take a peek right and take a peek left and make sure that your arms are one long line from one end all the way to the other. From one end all the way to the other. And now we're going to focus on our right side first. So we're going to turn our head and focus our drishti, our gaze, over our middle finger. Now let's take some big deep breaths. Inhale, lift the chest, pull the shoulders together. Exhale, drop the shoulders down into the back pockets. Pull the navel to the spine. Feel the lengthening of the spine from the top of the head, the crown of the head, all the way down to the tailbone. We're going to inhale back up, bringing those hands up and together. Again, release those shoulders down into those back pockets. Pull that navel to that spine when you exhale. And we're going to Warrior 2 on the opposite side. Here we go. Bring those hands down, palms facing down. Take a quick peek right and left. Make sure that those arms are one long line. And let's turn to our opposite left side. Our drishti, or our gaze, is going to follow over our middle long finger. We're going to inhale deep, fill the belly up. Exhale and pull the navel to the spine. Drop those shoulders down into those back pockets. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring our arms straight down to a mountain pose right here. And just real quick, we want to give a gentle relaxation. Roll those shoulders up, around, and back, up, around, and back. There we go. All right, we're going to go into a little bit of side mountain today. We are going to bring the hands up over the head. If you would like to keep your arms down low today, that's perfectly okay. We'll still allow our bodies to move sideways to get that stretch. So we're going to inhale up. We're going to bring those hands together once again, pointing that finger. And this time we're going to go ahead and come on over to our right side. Inhale, feel that lengthening. Now as we're here, we want to focus on keeping the sit bones right underneath in our glutes. We're going to press our left sit bone down into the chair, deep. Left sit bone down into the chair. We want to make sure we feel the lengthening from the fingertips all the way down our side, what we call our lats and our obliques, all the way down into that sit bone that is firmly rooted into that chair. Again, if you'd like to do this without any arms, you don't need any arms to stretch and lengthen sideways. Just make sure that sit bone is firmly pressed. Beautiful. We're going to inhale. On the next inhale, let's come back up to center. For those of you with arms, we're going to bring those arms up. And we're going to side bend the opposite way, coming into side mountain. And since now we're on our left side, we will definitely want to make sure that our sit bones on both sides are evenly pressed into the chair, and we want to make sure that that right side is anchored, making sure the heels are firmly pressed into the chair, into the floor as well. Feel that stretch, that lengthening through the body. Relax those shoulders down into your back pockets. And on that next inhale, we're going to come back up to center and bring those arms down. Again, remember, arms are always an option. We can still do the stretches without them. Today, we're going to come into a modified chair pose. That's going to be our next movement of today. So we're going to bring our feet just a little closer together. Now remember, this position does have a little bit of balance in it. So as we're here, we're going to squeeze as if we had a ball, small ball in between our inner thighs. Squeeze that, firmly press through the heels of our feet and the big toe. Spread out your toes, push them back down onto the floor, push into that big toe and the heel of our foot. We're going to hinge forward. Now as we're hinging, I want you to take that tailbone and I want you to tuck it slightly, just slightly under you. Beautiful. We're going to bring the arms up. Again, this is only an option. You do not have to use the arms at all. And for those of you that would like to add a little bit of a challenge, we're going to try to lift just a few inches from the chair. So we're going to lift up just a few inches from the chair. It's right behind you if you need it. You can come back down, okay? It's right behind you if you need it. Big deep breaths here, lifting through the chest, keeping those shoulders down. Again, no arms are needed. So if you'd like to practice here, perfectly okay. We do want to make sure we're keeping the shoulders down in those back pockets. If you'd like, you can always bring your arms up, as if you were pushing a weight together with your hands, squeezing the glutes, and squeezing those inner thighs together like you have a ball right there, okay? Firmly press through both feet. And on the next breath, we're going to exhale and come back into our chair. And release down, back to mountain pose, back to mountain pose. Okay, we are actually going to use the chair a little bit more as a prop now for some balancing. So we're going to gently go ahead and press up and out. And we're going to come on around to the side of the chair. As we're here, we're going to focus a little bit on some balancing poses. I'd like you to go ahead and keep your right hand on the chair today. You can add all levels of difficulty, so when you're comfortable with it, you can bring the hand down a little lower. You can release the hand down all the way. We're going to focus first on a crane position. So we're going to lift the opposite leg to the chair. The opposite leg to the chair should be your left leg, so we're going to lift up. We're going to flex the foot. We're going to feel that stretch right there. We're going to feel that stretch in the bottom of the foot, and you're going to feel the strengthening in the top of the leg, your quadricep right here. Okay? We're going to stand tall, stand tall. For those of you that would like to add arm movement, you can certainly bring your arm out to the side. Palms facing down, palms facing down. Take big deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Let's try that again. For those of you wanting to add a little bit of a challenge, you can always extend that leg out. Full leg extension. It's up to you, okay? It's up to you. And we're going to bring that back down. Beautiful. Now both feet are side by side. We are going to go ahead and take that inside leg now. That inside leg should be your right leg. And we're going to bring it forward to about where the front of the chair is. About to where the front of the chair is. We're going to step a little further back with our opposite leg. practicing and focusing in Warrior One. So we want to make sure that the heels are lined up with one another. Heels are lined up with one another. We're going to turn our hips forward. Turn our hips forward. The chair is for balance. If you'd like to reach out a little bit further on the chair. Good. And we're going to add a slight bend into that front knee. Just a slight bend. We do want to make sure that our knee does not go in front of the toes at this time. We want to make sure that the knee is aligned with the ankle or the shoelaces, right? Right on the front of an imaginary shoe that we're wearing, okay? As we're here, you want to feel that stretch and lengthening down through the calf muscles on the back leg. And I want you to pull those hips forward, pull those hips forward, pull those hips forward, pull that navel to that spine when you exhale. That's it. For those of you wanting to add a little bit of arm movement, you can always bring that arm up. Of course, if you feel balanced enough, you can always bring both arms up, both arms up. And we're gonna release that down, release that down. Beautiful. Now we're going to take a big deep breath. We're going to go ahead and step, let go of the chair, and step both feet together. Wonderful. We're going to try these poses on the opposite side of the chair. So if you could come around to the back. And we find ourselves on the other side of the chair today. Alright, so as we're here, we do want to line up with the back of the chair. For balance reasons, we want to make sure our hand is comfortably on the chair. We're going to focus in that crane pose once again. So the opposite leg to the chair, the opposite leg to the chair. We're going to be lifting up our right leg. Good. Firmly pressing through the foot on the floor. Really focus on that. The heel is pressed in. The big toe is pressed in on the leg on the floor. Should be your left foot. Good. We're going to flex the standing foot. Flex that. And you'll feel that stretch on the bottom of your foot. You'll also feel the strengthening on the top of the leg, right here on the thigh, the quadricep. Good. For those of you who'd like to add an arm, you can bring that arm out to the side. We're going to inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Pulling the navel to the spine, supporting that balance. Again, you know that a little more challenging option is to bring it out. That's it. That's for those of you who like it. We're going to try one more breath. And on the exhale, let's release it back to standing. Alright, let's take that inside leg. Should be your left leg. We're going to bring it forward. Right? Please don't go in front of the chair. We want to leave it so that we have plenty of space here to bring our hand up on the chair, reaching out just a little further. And we're going to take that back leg just a little further back. We're going to line up the heels. We're going to line up the heels. And we're going to slowly add a slight bend to that front knee. Slight bend to that front knee. Beautiful. Now feel the strengthening. Feel the strengthening of the muscles, the glutes. Squeeze your glutes. Pull your hips forward. That's it. Pull your hips forward. That's it. You want to feel that stretch now right here through that, what we call our hip flexors. And you feel the stretch in that back calf muscle, that back calf muscle. As we're gazing, please make sure that that front knee bend, that we don't want it in front of the toes. We want to make sure that that knee is aligned with the ankle or the shoelaces, right on your imaginary shoe that's in front, right on your foot. For those of you that want to add a little bit, you can of course bring that arm up. Of course, you can always bring both arms today. Lifting through the chest, pushing those shoulders down, pull that navel to that spine, and press those hips forward. That's it, that's it. If you don't want to use the arm, please move it. Do not want to use the arm today, okay? Do not want to use the arm. Either one. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to go ahead and bring both hands down. Let's step the feet together. Let's step our feet together. Okay, we are going to come to the back of the chair, all the way to the back of the chair. And as we're here today, we want to put both hands on for balance as we start. Okay, for balance as we start. We are going to take our right try that on the opposite side in a triangle, so come on around. And the last thing we have today, we're going to bring that hand down or hand up. I'm going to give the option for it down right now. We are going to take the feet a little bit apart. Go ahead and sit. We want them a little bit wider than your normal walking. Straightening the legs, straightening the legs. And we're going to lift up. And for those of you that want to add the arm, it's up here. For those of you choosing not to use the arm today, you just bring it down. We're going to focus on lifting through the chest. Lifting through the chest. Beautiful. Big deep breath. That's it. And lastly, we're going to bring that back around. Both hands down. Let's turn both toes, knees, hips forward. Toes, knees, hips forward. Hinging at those hips. Hinging at those hips. Feeling the lengthening down the backs of the legs. The lengthening down the backs of the legs. If you don't want to use the chair, you may certainly bring those hands up. That's up to you. And on that next breath, as we inhale, we're going to step both feet together and bring that back up. We're going to go ahead and have a seat back in the chair. There we go. Now, generally I would recommend we're going down into Shavasana so that we have rest time at the end of every yoga class that we have to make sure that the body is rested, de-stressed, and that we have moments coming back into our head and our mind about everything that our body has experienced throughout that workout. So make sure that you do take the time to do that today. We do not have time for that right at this moment, but I do want to make sure that we bring our hands to heart center. And then I do tell you at the end, as we come, that I really appreciate. We enjoy that you joined us today. So glad to have you. And we want to let you know that you did a great job. And this workout, all of our virtual workouts, will be available online at ymcarichmond.org to see all of the offerings that we have available for staying healthy for the spirit, mind, and body. Please provide any comments that you have, and we'll see you next time.